38 and counting, episode 17, floor seats, Jack Hall, Declan Hickey. The last fucking time we tried to do this intro, Declan was talking, Jack was gooning. I was just trying to host as I usually do, but no, it's always a fucking problem when we join here remotely. It's not fucking season 3, episode number 1. I said the wrong fucking episode. Jack is wearing that dumbass hat he got at Target. Declan's wearing that fire-ass fucking Spider-Man Christmas hat. I'm wearing a white shirt. My hair's growing back. The Celtics fucking lost. We have a lot to cover. Jack, I want to ask you, where the fuck was I and Declan at 12:30 when we were supposed to meet today? Because today marks the two-a-days, and also the Christmas special is next fucking week. Jack, where were we?
Yeah, you guys weren't fucking in the VOD Ninja. You know, if we're going to do that, I was waiting. I was in there at 12:25. Chuck said, be there. You should be there at 12:30. This was on Monday, by the way. You shouldn't have anything going on at 12:30, quote Chuck. I was in there at 12:25 looking at myself. So I was like, all right, I'll hop on a game of 2K.
All right, okay. All right, we fucked up, okay? We fucked up.
Yeah, just take accountability for it.
I am fucking accountable. What the fuck are you talking about? We were accountable. This is the most accountable podcast in America. 38 and counting. It's season 3. Declan, how you doing?
I see what you did there. Holy cringe. All right.
Declan, how you doing today?
I'm good. I got the greatest hat in the world on right now, baby.
That's what makes it a good day. That's what really makes
right?
it. Yeah. Okay.
Jack's hat, it's a turkey hat. It's not that good.
It's a little fucking ass. Jack, where'd you
Yeah.
get that hat? You want to tell the audience where you got the fucking hat?
Oh god.
I'd love to.
Tell them.
I got it at Target right down the street from me. It was in the summer. I was with my mom. And I'm like, hey, Mom, this hat's pretty fire. She's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get it now. It's probably cheaper now. And then here we are.
Cool story, bro. Tell it again. The Celtics will actually start.
I was at Target.
No, you did not say go again, bro.
I said cool story. Tell it again.
As I was proceeding to. But carry on.
The Celtics, they dropped their game coming out of this week to the Detroit Pistons. They ended up losing that one. Was it 110 to 105, Jack?
Yep.
Jack, you want to tell the audience
112.
where you were sitting? We'll throw that on the screen right now, actually. There's got to be a little video of Jack Halal. It'll show you where I was fucking sitting. And then the power of the Tim Cook fucking iPhone shows you how it zooms the fuck out. And I'm sitting, I don't know, in fucking Nova Scotia while Jack's on the floor with DH watching the fucking game. Jack, you want to tell the audience where you were sitting for this game?
Yeah, we were, it was the visitor basket. Their benches right along the left side of the floor. And DH and I were just like 2 seats right under the basket, right next to the bench, like three chairs away from the bench.
Declan, you want to ask me where I was sitting?
Where are you sitting, Chuck?
Section 326, row 14. We're talking the second to last row, probably in the building. And let me tell you, it was a fun game. But I'm gonna have
Wait, I have
Jack.
a question before you.
Right, continue. What the fuck is your question, Declan Hickey?
How much are your tickets for that game, Chuck?
$40.
I want to know.
$40.
How?
I don't know.
Bro, do you usually try to buy like disabled tickets? Like they like sell them for more because they're a little closer, and it's like bullshit.
Yeah, you just move
It's
down.
bullshit.
They're not gonna fucking check the rows up there. The only thing they check is Jack and DH and the investors. Jack, how much was that ticket? Just give us a little ballpark estimate.
So we have a friend whose tickets those are.
Oh,
and
shit.
when they can't make it, he looks for my dad. He says, hey, do you have one of your kids want to go with you?
So here's where we announce the 38 and counting TD Garden floor seat night is coming. We just have to wait. We just have to wait for the investors to say, you know what, take the tickets today, and you go ahead and take them. Anyways, Jack, we're actually going to get into this fucking game here because the Celtics lost. Jaylen Brown had a great game until he decided to, I don't know, goon at the fucking free throw line. Missed the last 2 free throws.
He's not the reason they lost. Let's not do that.
Okay, Peyton Pritchard misses a wide open 3, right? I mean, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna grind Jack's gears a bit, go back in time because I know Jack has a lot to say about Derek White. He saw him up close and personal. Those threes he missed in this past game. I know he had a really good game. He hit some pivotal ones as well. I think we were shooting like 18% from three in that game. I mean, it was fucking bad. I'm going to start with Jack being on the floor. Your thoughts on this Celtics game against the Pistons coming out of this break?
Look, it's funny because, prior to the game, I was actually talking with my dad, and we're like, this team right now is kind of overperforming. Obviously, you don't have a top 3 player in the world playing for you, and you're going up against a young, aggressive and hungry Pistons team who is now 21-5, but was 20-5 at the time. And look, I saw a lot of the same. Unfortunately, some of the stuff I didn't want to see, a lot of hucking from behind the arc, not enough attacking. And I just saw bad shot, bad decision making with the shooting, which was kind of just expected, I guess. That it's under Missoula, it's not Missoula ball. It's not going to change, unfortunately, and getting to the hole and everything. But no, look, I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's got to figure out his free throws. I mean, I'm pretty sure he missed like what 6 free throws maybe, and we lost by what 6. 7?
What is this point?
Like if he hits those free throws, we're in this game, right? Like they're free throws.
And
I think he's always been a mediocre and bad free throw shooter, but it's like really scary now. And I'm not a huge. I'm really concerned about his free throws, and I always have been. But yeah. No, nothing new in particular that I saw. I still like what I'm seeing from Keita. He's aggressive, can go up on defense, he can get rebounds, and he's a lob threat, so which is cool to see. But other than that, nothing new. Just the same 3-point shot.
Declan, you're watching from home. You're seeing Jack's dumbass head peek into the Peacock broadcast. I mean, we're kind of low on. JB had a tremendous game. He's averaging 30. But he's missing these fucking free throws. It's killing me.
Yeah, but like he's dead ass carrying this team. Like I don't think him missing the free throws is like why they lost. It's not why they lost. Like Jaylen Brown had set up like there were many times where he set people up for wide shots and they just fucking missed. That's literally what half the game was. He would have had way more assists in that game if there were a couple a shot by Minot where he was wide open, missed. There was obviously the Peyton Pritchard one late in the game. I thought they played well. It's just once they got into that fourth and went down, it seemed like they couldn't get back in the game. It seemed like once they were down by 10, they kind of came back, pushed it to 3, and then they just couldn't get the one shot back. But I think it goes to more everyone else other than Derek White and Jaylen Brown in this game didn't play that well. Joe Most got a great start, but then the second half he kind of disappeared. He didn't really do anything. And then Pritchard didn't really do anything in the second half. He was kind of just bad from 3. He was 2 for 8. I think more people got to step it up in these games, but I think we've seen them step it up. I just think this Pistons team is a tough team to beat. They have Cade Cunningham, who's playing at an All-NBA level this year, who's probably going to be a all-star starter for the East this year. So yeah, tough game. I think Jaylen Brown's free throws have always been there, the numbers the same. But I think they can move on from this. I think this isn't a game that's really gonna affect them that much because they did beat them earlier in the season. So I'm not too concerned. So yeah.
Here's my whole fucking spiel, and again, it's gonna sound whatever way it's gonna sound. I agree. Watching JB dish assists and have them just miss every time is one of my least favorite things I've seen. Also, if you're not gonna play to the game the way it comes to you and whatever, that whole thing of don't shoot threes or whatever, Anthony Simons is a pure scorer. He is a pure scorer. And Jack can attest to this, both of us being at the game. He needs to be on the floor more if you want to score points. Is he a fucking traffic cone on defense? Yes, he's a liability on defense. But Jack, I want to ask you, like, I'm going to tee up this question for you. If Simons is playing, right, and his usage has not been, up there with his time in Portland as he was a starter. He's trying to adjust to this whole, like, I'm on the bench, but the bench isn't scoring, and he's kind of like, is he the type of guy you think could give this team a kick in the ass when it comes to scoring points a bit more? I mean, they're good. They have point scorers. Derek White can score. JB can score. Pritchard can, aside from that fucking second half. Is this guy going to stick around or to wait and play with Jason Tatum, which would be incredible? Or is he some guy you would move in a package to get a center? I mean, they need a big. You saw it. Josh Minot is not a fucking center. He's not.
It's a good question. I was thinking about it watching the game too. Obviously I wanted to see more from Simons. He didn't play well Monday night. Sorry, but no, I agree. Like, look, I think he has a lot of Damian Lillard in him. I think he can create his own shot. You saw it in Portland when Damian wasn't there. And I agree. I think there's times where you got to say, hey, Pritchard is not, I don't want Pritchard starting against this team. This point guard is better defensively, and he's going to give Pritchard more trouble. And I think Simons can make his own shot better than Pritchard can. So I think that's when you make an adjustment and start Simons over Pritchard and have him just kind of either cook or make a move and dish or whatever. Just, I agree. Yes. Like he should be playing more, and he just needs to just keep trusting his shot because he can shoot. Now he's inconsistent, unfortunately, but I agree. He's a scorer, and when he's scoring, he can score. A package, I don't know how much you can get for, maybe it's adding someone else and Simmons. I don't know. But if that's the key and we get a center, I'm all for it.
Kata's been great. It's just the depth there is gone. You lose Al Horford, who has been an injury-prone mess in Golden State. Luke Cornett has been incredible, phenomenal in San Antonio, and he's somebody that I wanted back that I knew we wouldn't get back. Nemi's been awesome. He's taken a big step. Jack, I know you saw his defense. I know you saw the way he was playing under the rack. His aggression, it's awesome. But they need somebody else. And if Kata can come off the bench, that'd be awesome. And we're talking Zubac, we're talking somebody like that can elevate this team. Declan, we make a case for JB. Jack said he couldn't lead earlier in the season. His ability to lead this group, it's been incredible. I mean, he's averaging 30. Mm-hmm. He'll be a All-NBA first team nominee at the end. I mean, you look at guys like Jack's least favorite player in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, Giannis won't even make the threshold for those amount of games. I mean, we're talking 60-plus games. He won't make that threshold for first team. No way. Jaylen Brown is going to be a first-team player this season. And Jack's talking about, all right, does Tatum play this year, whatever. From what we're hearing from my guy that I'm looking towards when it comes to the Celtics coverage, and Justin Turpin at WEEI, he's saying the same thing all the time. They are not limiting him. He is practicing and playing the most he can right now. And the expectation is Jason Tatum returns in February. I mean, that's kind of what this expectation has been. Declan, you've been on this side of play the guy, play the guy, play the guy. Now I want to ask you, Jaylen Brown, first team player, averaging 30 points a game, bringing Tatum back into this and trading for a center, the East is wide open. There is a clear path for the NBA Finals for this group. It's the truth. I mean, this East is not great. Am I saying they can beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? No. But I think they can give Detroit a run for their money. I think they can give Orlando a run for their money. Those teams I think we can play. We can play them well. And I'm being serious. I think this team can also play the Knicks well and knock them out. That team's hot. Yeah. I know they are. But I think they can face anybody in this conference. So, Declan, I'm asking you to kind of pitch this question. Do you think this team has a clear path to potentially getting to a championship in a year that everyone thought they couldn't contend?
Yeah, I mean, because when you bring up if Jason Tatum comes back around the trade deadline, around the All-Star kind of break, then you could definitely see it because like I mentioned before with the Simons thing, how the Clippers are very interested in him, and they would be willing to trade Zubac for him. They've mentioned how they're pretty interested in him. they want to kind of get rid of Zubac, is like what they're saying, because the Clippers don't even know what they are. Like at like that point, which is a whole other story. Which comes down to like James Harden saved the NBA, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, like this Celtics team, especially if you were to bring Tatum back, because they've like beaten the Knicks this year, they've beaten the Pistons, they've beaten the Lakers, they beat I can't remember who else they beat, but they beat some other good teams in there. They beat the Magic, so yeah, like I definitely do think that like there is a path when you have Jaylen Brown who's playing at an All NBA level, who's probably going to be an All-Star starter this year as well. So yeah, there's definitely a path there because I definitely think they can beat some of these good teams, especially if they add another center to have the depth. Where then you would have Kata and Zubac or like some other center, and it just makes the team like all around better because they're decent rebounding, but they could be top 10 in rebounding if they get a good center. So yeah, I do think there's a clear path there because I think they could beat these teams that are in the East.
Patriots, Bills. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of discussions. There's a lot of, and this is why you come to the show, because we have a lot of discussions. And as Jack Lal would say, I'm going to tell it how it is. All right. And that actually goes back to the godfather of Tell It How It Is, and Mike Felger, friend of the show, this game, I thought was in the complete control of the New England Patriots for an entire first half, where I was telling myself, don't text the group chat, because if the Patriots hold the Bills here in the second half, their first drive to a touchdown and then drive down the field and score, there's no way they're going to come back. Well, the Patriots, they get a field goal at the end of the first. They're up 24-7. And then all hell broke loose. Drake May had a great first half. And the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen score 5 unanswered touchdowns. Now, the guy to my right, who's Declan, has a lot to say about the officials. The guy to my left, Jack Halal, isn't going to hitch his fucking wagon on the officials, and he's going to say it how it is, because the second half was awful. And I agree with both of them. So I'm going to start with my opinion on this game, and then I'm going to lob it to Declan, and then Declan will send it to the corner to Jack, and then he'll shoot the 3 and miss it like Derek White did. But, Jack, the officials were fucking awful. And we're going to start with that. This was bad. We're talking about 65 penalty yards for the Bills. Couple calls that were game deciding type of calls. Does that mean the refs gave up 5 unanswered fucking touchdowns? No, they didn't. But my problem here is that was some bad officiating. That was some bad calls. We go back to the Marcus Jones one. His back was turned to the ball. How do we call that? How did Shakir catch it? He didn't catch it. I mean, things like that. The holding calls, missing that for this defense for the Bills. I mean, you see Steph Diggs on the mesh concept, 4th and 5, running cross pattern with Hunter Henry. His entire back is held. No call. I mean, they're 5 yards ahead as well. I mean, that stuff can kill you. Does that mean the refs gave up 5 unanswered touchdowns? I'm going to make this like a call out, like fucking Oprah Winfrey. No, you get a fucking no, you get a no, because that's 5 unanswered touchdowns for a defense I thought was great outside of the red zone. They fucking failed me. And this offense played. This was Drake's worst game. Outside of the first half, I mean, he threw 145 touchdowns. He broke his streak of throwing 200 plus yards a game. Jack, your thoughts on the game as I'm kind of just throwing this shit at the wall, and we'll kind of dissect it and go through it. Just your thoughts overall on this game.
I mean, first half, I was saying, I was about to text my dad saying, hey, can we get tickets to Santa Clara? And then I waited, and obviously things changed. Look, it's tough. Obviously you hate to see a choke like that. You're up 21-0. You got to hold on to the lead. You're at home. It's tough, right? But I agree. Officiating wasn't great. don't think you can blame the loss on officiating. I think that interception was absolutely an interception, and I think Stephon Diggs was absolutely getting held. Nonetheless, they scored 5 unanswered. Like that can't happen, regardless if it's officiating or not. That you can't do that, and you're not going to win a football game if you do that. 5 unanswered is unheard of, and it's going to kill you. And to do that against your division rival in the Bills, a team that you beat, that was week
week 5.
Yeah, week 5. So almost 10 weeks prior. Like it's tough, right? And it hurts, but I think I don't know. I thought I saw a lot of good stuff from Henderson. I really did. He's been really good, and we've been saying it all year. You know, he has a burst of speed. He's aggressive. He can blow by any defender. He's great in the open field. Am I happy they lost? Obviously not. But am I still feeling good? Yes, because we lost now and not in the postseason. And I would rather have gotten that loss out now and that choke out now than first round of the postseason. So, look, last thing I'm going to say is, yeah, it hurt. But I think Drake May, I heard his presser after the game. I think that's exactly what you need from a young quarterback. You know, hey, they made more plays than we did, and it's going to happen. You know, obviously this isn't exactly what he said, but it's almost
ballpark.
Right. He said, you know, it's going to happen, and they made more plays than we did, so props to them. And that's kind of what you want from a young QB, not to get too down on himself or the team. Just stay confident and realize it's going to happen. And lastly, you know what? Never mind. I'll listen to Declan, and then I'll bring it to you guys because my friend and I have been talking about this. But
before I lob this to Declan, I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Josh Allen's second half performance was incredible. I mean, there was, as much as I was screaming at Jack to shut the fuck up the entire game, I mean, it's the truth of the matter. Like, he was throwing absolute bullets. I mean, nothing could stop that guy. The only thing that stopped them is when we were running man, and then for some reason we went to zone, and then we couldn't pick and choose. And then Josh Allen picked and chose through the air. I mean, he was dicing this defense in half. I think this is a learning opportunity. You face this team in the postseason again, and if you're hosting them, that's fine by me. You got to get your get back. You're up 21-0 and you fucking lose. That's how I look at it. Declan, your thoughts?
Yeah. So we talk a lot about like the 500 touchdowns, but I do think, like Chuck said, that the reps did play a huge part in these calls, which yes, okay, we gave up 500 touchdowns. That's very bad. I understand that, but like Chuck did mention, like a lot of those calls boiled down to them. It was weird because a lot of times it was on third down and there wasn't a lot of consistency. If you compare, they basically threw no flags the first half, none. The second half they just started throwing flags left and right. The call, the interception. Could that have been pass interference on Matt Collins in the pick? Was that really a hold on Davis? On the kick return, kind of a soft holding call that I've never really seen called before. I think they do better on defense. I think there's a quote that Diggs had mentioned. He kind of mentioned he's maybe we kind of needed this to maybe he said something maybe we kind of need to feel how a loss is at this point. I think it's something like that.
I love that.
Which I think is a good point because most of the times if you run what would have been a 14-game win streak or something like that, and you go into the playoffs, it's kind of you're at so much risk to get that just broken and just be a first round exit because what just happened to teams where they have this win streak and then they just bang Like happened to the Patriots 07, happened to the 2015 Panthers as well. They were riding those win streaks, and then it just comes back to bite them. So yeah, I think they needed that. I think they can win these next 3 games pretty easily. I think the Ravens game will be a little tough, just because the Ravens kind of have nothing to lose at this point. They kind of really I think they basically have to win almost.
Well, they're still in the
And then
hunt.
they need right, and then they need the Steelers to lose basically. So I mean, they'll still play each other, but they kind of are gonna go kind of all in to beat us. We haven't had the best record when we play in Baltimore either, so that's the point. But I think this team is definitely gonna want to bounce back after blowing a huge lead. But back to my point about the refs, obviously the refs didn't impact the whole game, but they impacted a heavy amount. But the defense has to be better. They can't go on a 3rd and goal from from the 20-yard line, and then he somehow just throws a dime to the tight end. I can't remember his name, but that was probably the most unacceptable play all day. It's just you can't let a guy run around that much, and then you just basically left the tight end kind of wide open. And then they're like, okay, and we get a touchdown.
I think for the first time in 2 seasons that Jeremy Springer has been our special teams coordinator, I have ever been this pissed off during a game when it comes to our coverage. There was no contain on special teams. We were not playing backside contain either. Our gunners were just getting blown up. Schooler had his worst game on special teams. I know I sound like a fucking lunatic because I'm actually watching special teams and how they play and all that shit. But that's how I started playing football. When I was a freshman in high school, I was I want to play football. And they're like, you're not going to play offense or defense. You're going to be a fucking gunner. So I had to learn how to contain and tackle and all this bullshit. It's Jack, if you look at where the Bills started on basically every single drive in the second half, it was past the 50-yard line.
Correct.
That can't happen.
Nope.
There was one drive where Allen started on the 10. You know where they ended up? The fucking end zone. The field position is the biggest issue when it comes to that game. You keep gifting the Bills offense great field position. That was Schooler's worst game. I know he's coming off an injury, all that shit, I get it. But the rest of the special teams unit and playing contain, it was very bad. That was the worst I've seen it in 2 seasons. And Springer was the only coach, aside from Duran Mayo, who's our strength and conditioning coach, that stayed from the last regime. So I think this Ravens game, you're going to see a lot more aggression, and we're going to move on to our preview. I think we're going to get past this game already. But before we get to our preview, though, after the special teams, one last thing I want to add. I think Diggs, his usage rate has dropped, and I think the tear from the past season, I think he's starting to feel the effects of playing a full season. It's been, last year his season got cut short. He's dealing with a hip injury right now. He posted that on his YouTube channel. I think him being banged up the offense is not churning as it was because of that. I mean, Kayshon Boutte was targeted once. They targeted Mac Hollins more than they targeted Boutte. I don't know. I don't get that. I mean, Jack?
And it's, where's Kyle Williams?
Yeah.
I mean, he had that breakout game again in Tampa Bay that we needed. And you know how fast he is, and he caught
the touchdown against the Giants. That's all he does. Just put him on a go route. That's it.
Right. Where was he? It's, look, you got to utilize Boutte more. Completely agree with you, Chuck. Diggs he's good, but he's aged and he's old and he's been injured. It's he's fragile.
He's also not getting the ball either as much because Rick May just isn't throwing it to him.
He's not. And also, his usage rate went down. He's on the field 48% of the time now. He was at week 5, he was on the field 60% of the time. Now he's down to 48.
They're using Mario Douglas more, which
right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
To me.
That is just something that I think we can continue to monitor, and maybe hopefully he just has a good final 3 games, and then postseason, I need him to turn up. That's all I need.
And I want to bring this up because you guys will probably think, rightfully so, I'm saying this. I know where you guys will stand, but I think it's important to entertain, right? Because look, I understand they're not the greatest team. I understand that, they don't have the greatest quarterback, but I'm not 100% confident going into Mile High. I'm being serious. Like, if we have to, like, I mean, it was tough for Brady. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, do I think we have a chance? Like, could we win? Of course we could. But am I like 100% like, oh, that's like this place is like, I don't know, this place is like Hard Rock Stadium. No, it's Mile High. Like, it's different. It's the altitude, everything like that. Like, that factors in. So I want to hear what you guys think.
I'm going to eat a ton of shit because I was so wrong about Bo Nix. I was so wrong about Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is my Drake May as to how, in reference to you, Jack, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, when you need it, he's got it. He will score when you need it. And I hate to ask this question. Has Drake done that yet?
I mean, has he needed to?
That's what I'm saying.
Because they've blown teams out.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Like, we don't know because he hasn't.
What is Drake? Like, we had an opportunity to see it in the 2-minute drill. That was his worst 2 passes I've seen him throw since like his first season. Like, we're talking sailing the first one when he had Booty underneath, and then the sack. Like 3rd and 5, 4th and 5 game. You had you had the ball under 2 minutes, 1 possession game, 3 timeouts.
No.
That pissed me off because I'm like, there's the narrative. The narrative has begun. Can he finish games? Because all we've watched are blowouts. Bo Nix, his defense is great. But fuck, man, how many times have you seen him come back against shitty teams like New York?
He's had to put together a last drive.
A lot. And that I know as a team that looks bad because you're coming back against the fucking Giants. Like, you know, but can Drake do that? And I have to eat shit on Bo Nix because the guy's fucking good. I mean, I used to call him like the step above Mac Jones. He's not that. His arm power is much better than I thought it was coming out of college. And the guy's got steez, man. I don't know how to explain it. He's just, the way he carries himself, the way he plays, I like Bo Nix. Am I going to say that when the playoffs come? Fuck no. When we go to Mile High, am I going to say this guy's good? No, right? That's just the fan in me. But the truth of the matter is, the guy's much better than I thought he was. Before we move on to this preview for this football night in America, Declan, your thoughts on Bo Nix? Do you think we can play in Mile High?
I think we can. I still think that Drake May is better than him. I think by a landslide, and I'm gonna stick to that.
I think it's true. I agree. I think he's better than him. But when it comes to the clutch, that's where I'm gonna start questioning.
But I also think the plays they called for the drive for May were a little bit questionable. You know what I mean? Like, I think the play calling in those last 2 minutes also like falls on like a McDaniels, because it just didn't seem like in the second half like at all that he was coming up with like really good plays, because it seemed like in the first half they were pulling crazy shit out. They were doing some like trick plays. They were like going.
I don't know what the fuck McDaniels was doing. He was like in his bag for some odd reason. I don't know what was going on.
And then in the second half, he kind of just went away from it, which was. And then I think they kind of just got lucky with. Okay, I think Trayvon Henderson is a good player, but I think with that play they got very lucky that he was able to break out.
The second touchdown on the cutback was luck, obviously. I mean,
yes, it was. I mean, obviously we know that like he's like a speed demon. He's great, but like.
Yeah, there was no skill.
That wasn't because of McDaniels, you know what I mean? It wasn't because of his good play calling. But back to my point, I think they could go in the Mile High and beat this Denver team. I know they have a very good secondary. Pat Surtain's probably the best cornerback in the league. He's insane. He's probably gonna be up for like Defensive Player of the Year, like again, because he's just that good. But I think they could beat this team. It also depends, like, if it's in the playoffs, like, we have our lineman back, where we have Will Campbell back, where we have Jared Wilson back, where we eventually have, like, where we have Milton Williams back at that point.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, Wilson played this past Sunday. He had an 82 grade. He was incredible.
I didn't play.
Huh?
Okay. I just meant Campbell then. as McCain.
We're here to help you. All right, this is 38 and counting. This is the family we are right here at 38 NC. And Declan, not to cut you off, but we have to move on to this preview. I think next episode we could talk about, is McDaniels worth having back? I think so, but is his job potentially up? Because this is obviously a marriage between Kraft and McDaniels, and he said, Vrabes, this is who we're gonna get, and it's worked out for Drake, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. We have the the fifth ranked offense in the NFL, the second ranked pass offense, and the 25th ranked rush. Moving on. It's Sunday Night Football time. The Patriots, they're taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. The Ravens 7-7. They're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. That's how bad that division is, with the Steelers at 8-7. I'm going to start with Jack. This has been the Jack episode. Jack me off, Jack. Jack,
whoa.
Your thoughts on this game before we get into it. Lamar Jackson, the guy that you absolutely hate and despise. No, I don't think he hates and despises him. I just think the MVP situation has gone a very tough conversation here on 38 and counting behind the scenes as the After Hours show. Jack, your thoughts on this one? Patriots Ravens, Drake in primetime. It's been fun to watch. We'll see if he keeps it going.
It has. It's been really fun to watch. Look, I don't despise him. I'm not a fan. But my God, is this kid special. I mean, don't get me wrong. He is incredible. And he's someone that you're like, I don't know how to beat this guy. Like, he can run, he can throw, and look, he can do a lot. And I think it's going to be tougher than we think. I think if we win, it'll be by a field goal. M&T Bank Stadium is not an easy environment, especially against New England at night. I mean, we've seen it. Brady lost to Lamar his last year here. I mean, at a night game in Baltimore, like it's tough to play there. But I think Drake will settle down, and I think Declan makes a good point. Like, I think we go into Baltimore knowing we don't need to be perfect to keep the streak alive. And a win's a win, right? A win just helps us even more. And however we get it, as long as we win. And I think that's kind of the mentality. And it's going to hurt not having is Milton back?
Milton's back week 18.
Yeah, it's going to hurt not having Milton there to try to get after Lamar as much as possible. But I'll trust that Vrabel. I mean, Vrabel beat Lamar in the playoffs years back. So he, and that was his MVP year. So I think Vrabel kind of knows what he's going to do. I think he knows his game plan and his scheme. But look, I'm worried, and I think if we lose this game, then we'll win the next two and see what happens. But I think it's definitely winnable. But I don't know. I'm feeling kind of 50-50.
I'm excited to watch how this team plays after a loss. We hadn't seen it in 83 days. So, let's see how they answer. I'm excited for that. And I think Drake in primetime, it's just fun to watch him. I think he likes being in the spotlight, which comes into question with the clutch game. Because the one game I can call back to that was clutch, that drive that led the Patriots downfield for a field goal to beat the Bills in week 5, that was a clutch drive from Drake May.
Yeah.
And can we see that again in a Ravens game in a spot where you're trying to keep the number 2 seed in the playoffs? Yeah, because you keep the 2 seed, you host a wild card game, I'm good. We get to the divisional. Get to the divisional. That's all I care. Get past that. You never know what could happen, right? Like, I just think this game's going to tell me a lot. And if they can answer and they can come back and answer well, it's going to be tough because we saw the entire game last week without Robert Spillane. Reports now, just 20 minutes ago, Mike Giardi, Robert Spillane's walking through that Patriots locker room with a boot on his foot. Does that rule him out? Because we thought he was going to get ruled out last week. Guess what? He played 0 snaps. He was in full uniform. That toe might be a big issue. And I'm gonna send it to you, Declan, in a second. But without your best, okay, think about this. In week 3, we were saying Spillane was an awful free agent signing because he couldn't fucking make a tackle, right? I mean, that's what me and Jack were in fumes when this team was 1-2 about Robert Spillane. He has almost 100 tackles. He has been unbelievable. He has 97 tackles. When you lose that from your defense and you're playing Jack Gibbons and Jelani Tavai and Christian Ellis, Spillane plus those guys is great. But when those guys are in a starting spot, the defense looked a lot different without Robert Spillane in it as its leader. Declan, your thoughts on this Ravens-Patriots game?
Yeah, I mean, also, back to the Ravens, it's been like Lamar Jackson this year, ever since he's come back from the injury, he hasn't exactly looked very comfortable. I think that's been a conversation to have. It seems like maybe he's a little more injured than we thought, because it seems like he's making all these plays that are really unlike him. That it basically looks like Lamar Jackson from his rookie year is what he's been looking like, which isn't the player he's been at all. Jack just took his head off, but yeah,
right back on.
Yeah, he put it right back on. Yeah, so I think that's an interesting topic to see how Lamar's going to play. Is he going to be the MVP version of himself, or is it going to be this version who seems like he's still slightly injured? So I really don't know. This game could, like Jack said, I think it could go either way. So I really don't know what's going to happen. I think they'll still win, but not by a huge amount. I think it'll still be a fairly close game. It just really depends how Lamar Jackson looks. And also, we're gonna see if what's the name? If Chris Collinsworth is gonna have a new favorite now, because there's gonna be no more Mahomes.
That's right. I don't know. That's Tony Romo.
Come on in here, partner.
But we just suck for Mahomes in that part to see him. There's
the Collinsworth slide's goofy, bro, but I love it.
But yeah, and then but also it's gonna be a weird year because there's gonna be no Chiefs in the postseason, which is just gonna be strange to look at.
So we're gonna give our predictions for this game because we have to move on. Yeah. Jack, your prediction for Sunday Night Football?
Waiting all day for Sunday.
27-24 Patriots.
Declan.
Ooh. I don't know. Hold on. Come back to me.
He's going. I was gonna
come back to me.
40 bomb. I was gonna say. Ooh.
I'll go last, Chuck. You go.
31-17 Pats.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll go 31-23.
Beautiful. Grandma's downstairs. She's arguing. I don't know what's going on here, but we're gonna move on. Sox are the last team in the MLB that have not made a free agent move. During the beginning of this podcast,
isn't it them and the Rockies?
No, the Rockies they've made a move.
The Rockies count as a team.
Before the podcast began,
their uniforms are beautiful, so don't do that.
Before the podcast began, FSG has, according to Frank Saravalli, FSG has reached an agreement to sell the NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins to the Hoffman family, a Chicago-based investment group led by David Hoffman, which there's probably 1 million David Hoffmans in the world that make a lot of money. I don't know why that's just maybe the Hoffman name and the lineage, maybe a little bit like a halal. And after I saw the tweet about the selling, Red Sox payroll put out a tweet. This is insanity, and this is going to get Jack riled up. So they bought the team, the FSG bought the team in 2021 for $875 million. 5 years later, they just sold it, and they made $1.7 billion. Jack, with this selling of the Pittsburgh Penguins, does this mean they're going to allocate some funds to the Boston Red Sox to sign some free agents?
No. John's probably just going to expand his yacht, call it whatever. I know he's involved with the PGA Tour. He'll probably invest in that. Look, he's already a multi-billionaire. You add another billion, it's dude, you're a sports team owner. Spend. I don't. It's what? I'm honestly scared. If it was any other, if it was no, not even a craft. If it was a Bill Chisholm, I'd be like, all right, he's gonna use that money into the Celtics. But for like a Henry, it's like this guy's not gonna spend that money on this team. Like, so I don't know.
Listen, I mean, I've really reached the point where, you know, me and my friend Johan, you know, who's always cracking buns, he, you know, when like we're both like huge Red Sox fans, we go to games all the time, and I'm sure we'll have Johan on this podcast at some point. You know what's bad when we're so low on ownership spending, because we're always the guys that are like, oh, they're gonna do it because, oh, just wait, everyone's crying. And this. I am so petrified, because from the things that I'm hearing, because everybody knows that I'm interconnected in some type of way, there is 2 teams that could really make a swing for Alex Bregman: Chicago and, surprise, Arizona. Okay, these 2 teams. It's not like they're just, oh, we're feeling around, whatever. They could really sign this guy. And I'm waiting for that Jeff Passan notification to break my heart. At the same time, the vibes are low on Bregman right now. They definitely are. If you don't re-sign Bregman, and you don't trade for Ketel Marte, or sign a guy like Okamoto, and God forbid a guy like Murakami, or get a pitcher, or another pitcher, if you don't trade Jarren Duran, you're looking at a 4th place season. That's what it is. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's frustrating. And liquidating assets, right? And we're talking, this is some billionaire shit, isn't something that we can just say nothing about, because they just liquidated an entire, like, they just made $1.7 billion. That's not like nothing, right? But the way this guy's operated, the fact that he won't give out long-term contracts, the fact that Bresl's such a fucking robot that he had to trade Devers' contract, like, I don't know. You know, it's tough.
It is, and I think it's something to touch upon, and I think this might not make any sense to you guys, but look, it sucks because obviously, you know, Alex Cora in 2018, we had that unbelievable season and we won the title. Didn't do anything till 21, and then since then it's been shit, right? Like, there should honestly be a rule, and this is going to sound really stupid, but bear with me. In sports, if your owner doesn't invest in the team, the organization, the talent, that there should be a rule that coach can't get fired. Because if he has nothing to work with, remember, I'm pretty sure Alex Cora was like on the hot seat at one point. Not this year, but I'm saying like in the past.
Yeah, he was.
He had shit. He had garbage. Like, I don't like, so that should be, no, like that there should be something saying like, you need to provide so many like requirements for your coach to actually work with, that he actually has a legit, then if he can't win with what he legitimately has that's workable, fire him. But you can't, why fire him if he has ass?
Well, he got extended, right? And I think the whole point of his extension, I think his leverage was, are we going to spend? Are we going to spend for this?
And he was probably told yes, and he's probably like, what the hell is happening?
Right. Declan, we're spewing this. It's the truth of the matter now.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Yeah, like, especially with Arizona, it makes a weird thing, because you're trying to trade with them, but then they're trying to get Bregman, and like,
well, if they sign Bregman, they have to trade Ketel, because the D-backs, they operate like a fucking small market team. That's what they are.
Yes, I mean, I know like Boba is still a name that's still out there,
right?
And he said the teams now he's willing to play second base, because it seems very unlikely that he's going back to Toronto. Seems highly unlikely. I've seen like, and like maybe this Arizona thing could still be like Scott Boras, like stirring up a market, because it's fucking Scott Boras and he's so desperate to do anything to try to make his player get more money, which is so fucking aggravating. It's just so stupid. But yeah, it's like a weird situation. Like, but I mean, I would only be okay with them losing Bregman if they were to get Marte and Bichette. You know what I mean? I would be okay if that happens, but that that would be what would have to happen. Like that would have to be like in like a perfect world, they get Bo Bichette and they get like Marte. But I don't really know if that can really happen because
As it stands today, as it
Yeah.
stands today, the Red Sox projected WAR total for their pitching is second in the MLB. I mean, we're talking about this rotation is very good. It's going to be very good. We know the pitching is going to be good. They can add another pitcher and it will be probably number one rotation in baseball. If they add an actual number two, they sign a guy like King or they trade for somebody else, we're talking, number one rotation in baseball. As it stands today,
rate a guy like King? Like, you think King would be a good fit?
I don't know. Like right now, I just want them to sign someone. Jack,
Because he did play amazing in 2023. Go. Continue.
Sorry. I just want to say quickly, like, again, it'd be their second year kind of in the big leagues, and I don't know if they would do this, but I think it's worth asking. If we don't sign Bregman, do Anthony and Meyer kind of be like, we just lost our leader? What the fuck?
I think.
I mean, we look up to them, and like they're vocal about it.
I generally think that Roman, despite him being literally your age, Jack, like, I think he's already a leader. Like, I think he can be a leader in that clubhouse. Do I want him to be at the age of 20? At the age of 23? No, I don't want him to be the leader in the clubhouse. But it's a serious question to have because right now, as it stands, the Red Sox haven't signed anyone. They've traded for Oviedo, which I like the trade. I really like Oviedo. The Perales trade from 2 days ago or yesterday was strange. They traded for a 25-year-old in AA, and they sent their prospect in Luis Perales, who throws 100 miles per hour, for
Who
a
they
20
could have put in the Marte trade
for a 25-year-old. Like, I didn't get that. And my problem as well is that Brez is only trading with guys that he knows. Paul Taboni with the Nats. He just left our organization to go to the Nats to be their GM. Charrington with the Pirates was our GM. Heim Bloom with the Cardinals was our GM. There's no leverage game here. You haven't signed anyone. It's not even a conversation worth having anymore until the Red Sox go out and sign someone.
Correct.
Or trade for Marte.
So that's where I stand. And 3 up, 3 down. Jack and Declan. I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions here. You're going to tell me if you're up or if you're down. This could be in general in Boston sports, not, in general as we've done before. Next week for the Christmas episode, be ready. We have a full rundown coming for you guys. It's going to be a fun episode. Jack, are you up or down on Steph Diggs right now in the season?
I'm up. I thought he was going to be really bad, to be honest, when we signed him. I thought he was old. I thought he already kind of experienced his fame in Minnesota and a little bit in Buffalo. I think he can get you yards when you need him to. I'm up.
Declan, up or down on the Red Sox making a move this offseason?
I'm still up because they still have the pieces to make trades, and it's not like it's fully panic mode yet. Could it be panic mode sooner if it gets to January and there's still nobody on the team? Then yeah,
100%.
But I'm gonna let it marinate a little bit before I panic. So still up.
The sit and wait Lou Merloni method. Jack, are you up or down on the Celtics making a push to the NBA Finals this season?
I'm down. And it's not that I think they're like ass. I just think like I know the East is wide open, but I don't know. Tatum's great, top 3 player in the league when healthy, but I think when he's gonna be playing a little different, not having a full season under his belt going into the postseason. Still think he's gonna be a little rusty, and I think our role players are we're not gonna have the arsenal to go the distance, but no, I'm down, and I don't think that's unreasonable.
Declan, last one here, up or down? How far can the Patriots make it this season in the playoffs? That's not enough. The up or down is, will they make it far in the postseason?
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna feel positive that they can beat almost every team because they have Drake May. I think Drake May is gonna show people why he's an MVP favorite, and I think if they play Buffalo, I think they can get their revenge, which would be a sweet game. So yeah, I'm gonna go up.
The last thing I want to say is I unfortunately think the MVP conversation ended last week.
Yeah, it's over.
I think Stafford has it in the bag.
And we can't get into it. We cannot get into it for this episode, season 3, episode 1. We can get into it at the end of this week for our second episode because we're going 2 weeks. We'll get into the Drake May conversation. We'll get into that Patriots-Ravens game. Our live Sunday following reaction. Not live, but you know what I mean. Following the game, potential post-game show looming. That's all we got for this one. Season 3, episode 1. Declan Hickey, Jack Halal, Chuck LaRassa here in the middle. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.